guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or nah tinted moisturizer review on the brand new Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydro Maniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. Before we get started, I do quickly want to introduce myself for those of you guys who are new to my channel. Hi, welcome. My name is Jessica, aka the Mexican Beauty, and I make videos on all things beauty, lifestyle, and fashion. So I would love for you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. While you're at it, hit the notification bell because that will make sure you're notified every single time I upload. And also don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, the Mexican Beauty. Whenever I'm not here, I'm there 24/7 posting bomb-ass content you won't want to miss. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this review because I'm super intrigued. So I already went ahead and moisturized my skin. For moisturizer, I tried the Summer Fridays new gel hydrator. Really loved it. I think it reacted really well with my skin. Gave me such a healthy radiance from within. It dried really nicely, but still looks gorgeous. So really enjoyed this for my first impressions. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're going to apply primers. So I'm gonna be using some of my favorite primers. I'm actually gonna be using the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Glow Face Primer on one side, and then I'm gonna be using some mattifying products on this side because this is supposed to be a more hydrating, glowy tinted moisturizer, so I kind of want to see how it does on both sides of the spectrum. I have mentioned that my skin has been more so of combination. Like I have areas where it's gone really dry, never had that issue in my life, and then areas where it's still super oily. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Matte Putty Primer on this side of the face because I do want to go ahead and kind of see how my matte products do with the hydrator in case you are somebody that does have oily skin but you're curious about it because of the winter months. Your skin may be a little bit more dehydrated than usual. You can never go wrong with that. Okay, so just keep in mind that on this side it is matte base, on this side it is a more hydrating base. So now we're gonna go ahead and dive into this foundation. I did pick this up in the shade Medium 51. Now when I saw the display at Ulta, I was a little bit underwhelmed with the fact that there weren't that many shades. They had light shades, then they had like 2 medium shades, and then they had like darker shades. So I was kind of like, ugh, what could I be? I was between the shade 50 and 51. I ended up picking 51 because I think this will suit me better, but it still looks a little bit light. The next shade up will look too dark, so we'll have to see. I will have all my shade references down below in the description box so you guys can go ahead and check those out. This product was $29, which I didn't think was too bad for Urban Decay. This is the type of applicator that it comes in. I'm gonna apply it on the back of my hand. Ooh, I thought it was gonna be like super runny, but it's actually a nice creamy consistency, and the color actually looks like it's gonna work over my skin. So the claims on this foundation are that it is a medium coverage that lasts up to 24 hours. It's covering really quickly. It does have that luminous effect, but it looks very, very healthy. It does contain kombucha filtrate plus marula oil. I feel like the marula oil is what's giving it that really like hydrated appearance. Okay, so we have that. You guys can see the difference between having the tinted hydrator on to not having anything on. Gorgeous. So now we're gonna go ahead and use our brush. We're gonna be using the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. So we're just gonna do a few dots. I feel like if you want more of a like fuller coverage finish sooner, definitely with the brush. Now the sponge doesn't look too far off, very healthy, but that's just like first impressions, what I'm noticing. I feel like that's always the case though. But just right off the bat, when I first saw this and I applied it on the back of my hand, I did feel like it was going to give me a really good pigmented finish because it looked super pigmented on the back of my hand. It also feels really nice in consistency. Just by looking at it, I can tell when something's gonna be super easy to blend, and this is one of those products that is super easy to blend. This is the side with the brush. This is the side with the sponge. Very similar. I do feel like this side right here oxidized just a touch. Like just a touch. It looks a little bit more warm. I'm gonna see if that happens with this side, but please tell me I'm the only one who noticed that. Definitely a very, very healthy glow. Obviously it's gonna come down to the wear test that we have today. Right now it is, I'm looking at my iPad, 9:12 a.m. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup for the day. And then I'm gonna come back and give you guys just my very first impressions, how it worked with everything else. And then we can go ahead and start our day and see how this does for the wear test. Okay guys, so I am back. I finished my entire face of makeup. I do wanna just go ahead and get right into the tinted hydrator because I have some well-developed thoughts. First, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with ingredients. So you can find this product at Ulta or Sephora. I purchased this at Ulta because I thought it was an Ulta exclusive, but it's not. You can find it in either or, so whatever your preference is. But I wanted to look up the highlighted ingredients because that's kind of what I was curious about. So it does contain kombucha filtrate, which I was like, what does that mean? So it's supposed to be an antioxidant rich ingredient that visibly brightens and purifies the skin for a more luminous look, which I definitely do see that. The marula oil was what I thought it would be. It's supposed to be good for hydrating, protecting, and sealing the moisture. It does say that it's supposed to leave the skin feeling super hydrated while minimizing imperfections like even tone texture with a blurring effect. I definitely do see that. I feel like my skin looks really perfected. Like on this side looks so stunning. Same thing with this side, I'm like, here for this. So I want to talk about quickly what I use, like some key highlight products that I use. So today I decided to go in with a more full coverage matte concealer. So I use the Jouer concealer, super full coverage and matte. I didn't use too much of it. I just used a little bit of it on each side. And of course, like always, I always like to go ahead and bake my under eyes and set them because if I don't do that, they crease like crazy. So I did use my Airspun powder to just set like directly where those lines are. And I do have to say, quick little tip, whenever I use a super hydrating product on the face as like foundation or tinted moisturizer, I like using a more soft matte or matte concealer because I know it will neutralize. It'll lay very nicely on top of that. I used whatever powder I did have left over and I dusted it off in the areas where I tend to get oily. So the areas where I tend to get oily are my smile lines, the T-zone area. That's pretty much where I needed to kind of apply that. And I have to say that I did use the Airspun loose powder, in case you guys know what that is. It looks like this. I used this and I felt like because it was a loose consistency, it applied really nicely over the hydrator. It didn't look cakey or heavy or like I was wearing a lot of product. So if you do have oily skin and you do want to try this out, just my first impression definitely worked really well with my powders to just kind of set everything in place. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is begin the wear test. Hey guys, so right now it is 4:08 and I wanted to come in and show you guys how this is looking. So we are wearing the tinted hydrator, this side with the Urban Decay glowy grip primer and this side with the e.l.f. matte putty primer. Honestly, what do you guys think? I feel like there's not a significant difference between the two now that I'm looking at it. We are looking luminous, of course. So for oily skin people that don't like luminosity, right now this is not, you know, the best. But to be honest, it's 4 p.m. and I would expect me as a oily skin person, but I guess like combination oily skin, to look way dewier, especially because it is a hydrator tinted glowy situation. But it's not too bad. I will do my final check-in probably around 6:37ish so you guys can see how this looks at the end of the day. Okay guys, so I'm back right now. It is 7:53 p.m. So let's talk about the Tinted Glow Hydrator. So as you guys can see, definitely does have a glow. I see my dewiness peeking through for sure. For the most part, I do have to say for a tinted moisturizer, I'm very impressed with the fact that it stayed in place around the areas where I wear a mask. Like you can't really see too much transfer right here. The one place where you can see the transfer very clearly is the nose area. And I think it's because I didn't set it with powder the way that I typically set when I do wear a full face of makeup and I want it to last. Definitely dewy around the T-zone. I would say right off the bat, If you do have oily skin, I wouldn't recommend it. It gives you a nice glow, but I know that there's a lot of people that, you know, they're oily skin, this is like a lot for them, so I get that. I don't mind it too much right now, but I definitely do feel like if I went a few more hours with it, I would probably have to blot or just apply some powder to kind of keep it intact because it is getting dewy, especially like around the nose area. Definitely I feel like this is gonna be the go-to product for somebody that does have very dry skin or normal skin likes more so of a dewy finish. If you love dewy finishes, this is gonna be great for you. I definitely feel like for somebody that has very dry skin, it's gonna sit on the skin very nicely. It is a very, very beautiful hydrating consistency. And I think people with dry skin will really appreciate that. Now, I wish that there would be more shades of this, but I do have to say, considering there's not that many shades, the shade that I did pick out, medium 51, is the shade for me. So if you're looking to buy this and you really like how it looks right now and you wanna buy it, definitely get the shade if you're around my complexion. I think for the price, $29, if you do wanna purchase this, it's not bad at all. I think that you do get luxury in here, and I think for that price, it's definitely justified because it looks stunning, and I think this is like a dry skin person's dream come true, is looking dewy. So those are pretty much my thoughts, not for the oily skin person, but definitely for the dry skin person. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know to continue doing these types of videos for you guys. And don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful out there. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Bye guys.